I learned myself. I had a brother, Fred, great guy, best looking guy, best personality, much better than mine. But he had a problem. He had a problem with alcohol.
On September 26, 1981, Frederick Chris Trump Jr. died of a heart attack. Frederick was the older brother of Donald Trump. His death, attributed to his excessive drinking, would lead Trump to a life of so-called sobriety.
And he would tell me, don't drink, don't drink. He was substantially older, and I listened to him and I respected, but he would constantly tell me, don't drink.
Donald likes to portray himself as being strong, but couldn't bring himself to sit with his brother, who he claimed was his hero, in the final hours of his life. Nor could Trump's parents. While Freddie's father and mother sat in their home library, Donald Trump went to see a movie.
Got very ill, deathly ill, and you get a phone call from your grandfather.
Yeah, that was, that's the kind of experience that's shaped as much by what happened after as it is in the moment. And I remember that conversation verbatim. It was so striking at the time, but also given what I now know was the truth while I was having that conversation. I will never forget it. I had been told to call home. I didn't know why. My mother wasn't home, so I was told to call my grandparents in that event. And when my grandfather got on the phone, he said, your dad's sick. Like, oh, is it serious? Oh, he's in the hospital, but it's not serious. Like, okay, but why am I calling you at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night if it's not serious? I was thinking to myself. So I said, well, is it his heart? Because he had had open heart surgery 3 years earlier at the age of 39. And he said, yes, it's his heart. And I said, well, then it is serious. Yes, it's serious, but don't worry about it. Call your mother in the morning. And as I found out 2 minutes later, when I called my mother to find out what was going on, my father had died 2 hours earlier.
More or less alone.
Completely alone. Obviously with strangers surrounding him, but no family.
You write that his brother went to the movies?
Yeah, that shocked even me when I heard about it. It was bad enough. It was probably worse, honestly, that my dad's parents just sat in the library in the house waiting for a phone call. I will never know why they didn't go to the hospital to be with their son, who was clearly dying. So maybe it isn't surprising that Donald didn't think he needed to be there. Maybe that would have looked bad to his father. And maybe sitting around waiting for the phone call was too burdensome. I don't know. But, I've often wondered, what movie did he go to see that seemed more compelling than sitting with his dying brother? But I'll never know.
I looked up the top box office movies during the week of his brother's death, and they were Arthur, Continental Divide, and Mommy Dearest. This is the type of individual who doesn't have the mental acuity to lead anything. In another strange dealing with death, the Tangerine Idi Amin had his former wife, Ivana Trump, buried at his golf course in Bedminster, off in the corner.
And he's still asking me for advice, yes.
What will he ask you your advice about?
He asked me about, should I tweet, should I not tweet? I said, I think you should tweet. It's a new way, new technology, and if you want to get your words across rightly, without telling the New York Times, which is going to twist every single word of yours, this is how you get your message out.
Yvonne, I think So many people, Democrats, Republicans, allies, critics, have said, Mr. President, stop tweeting.
Well, it's a tweeting president. This is his new way how to put the message across, and he's right.
Now, this is just a strange and dark thing that I can't quite get my head around. Maybe it's payback for her allegations of Donald Trump raping her, or the fact that he kept a copy of Mein Kampf on his nightstand. These are all excerpts from the book Lost Tycoon, The Many Lives of Donald Trump. The author of the book, Harry Hurt III, he claims he spent over 2 years researching Trump before publishing this book in 1993. He recalls a meeting with Trump and his lawyers regarding the book. Quote, "They got angrier and angrier. Donald jumped up and pulled a tape recorder out of the pocket of his suit and declared, 'I've got it all on tape,'" Hertz recalled, adding that Trump's lawyers turned pale at the incident. W.W. Norton's lawyer responded, "Oh, you've been taping the whole time and didn't tell us? That's not right." Or maybe like it always is with Trump, it's about money. Trump's former attack dog lawyer, Michael Cohen.
Yes.
No, you haven't done it once. Okay, because not one person of the not one person of the 900 people that work for her campaign, not one has left, not one has been promoted or demoted.
No, the
Says
polls,
who?
most of them, all of them.
Says who?
Polls. I just told you, I answered your question.
Okay, which polls?
All of them.
These are Donald Trump's words. He's going to stay true to who he is, and he's going to end up, in all fairness, he's going to end up winning this election.
Who actually did fair time in prison for lying under oath to protect Donald Trump, is one of the long line of disgraced lawyers in Trump's sphere. After Trump turned his back on Cohen, he's been telling anybody who would listen about how Donald Trump thinks.
Labeled cemetery for purposes of Ivana's burial or anything around that. Do you know what that's about?
No, all I know is that they buried what appears to be the ashes of Ivana on the first hole. Personally, I find the whole thing to be fucking offensive. I would be offended if I was Ivana. He certainly was no great husband while they were together, and he's even a bigger shit now that she's deceased. Who the fuck wants to be buried at the first hole? It's not the same thing. They're burying a body. There's a headstone that's there. Who wants people playing over your headstone? I mean, there's no relevance to her being there other than what I'm reading in the paper, and that's to provide him with a tax benefit on the property, because now it's not just a golf course, it's also a cemetery.
Shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
Yeah, you niggas would be all right.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest?